Hi, this is Larry Hatch for Hatch's Beer of the Week, brought to you by Hatch's Beer Encyclopedia, the 100% free, no obligation, humorous, and fair guide to 4,000 different beers. Everything from classic historic beers to stuff released just last week. And we're reviewing by an expert panel, so there's no pooled ignorance, and we all have 20 plus years experience. So you're going to get some really fair, informed opinions. And I picked the panel myself, and it varies year to year, but take my word for it. We're going to give you the real skinny on stuff. Our review today is from the Firestone-Walker series, the lovely box beers you probably see in your local stores. And today's is the Kentucky Mule 2021 edition, out of Paso Robles, California. And if you know, Paso Robles is kind of one of the wine centers of California. Firestone actually blends a lot of their rare ales, and they use the local wine experts, some who are very world famous names, to help them blend stuff. So when you see a Firestone-Walker box, for $9 to, $15, maybe more, grab it, because they're going to be really good stuff. We've given them some high marks. Now the Kentucky Mule, we only gave 4.5 out of 5 bottles because it's not perfect, but it's still a very, very good beer. It's 11.8% with 20 IBU, and it's based on a British ale recipe, which is then bourbon barrel aged with added ginger and lime peel. Oh, you got me there. Ginger lime peel, not too common among barrel aged stuff. And this 12-ounce bottle was only $9.99 in our local area. We've tried about 9, I think, of them, maybe 10, and this was the latest. And it's a cocktail series based on the Moscow Mule, and that basically uses ginger beer, ginger syrup, vodka, and lime juice. The Kentucky Mule as a cocktail, and as this beer, is a variation that substitutes bourbon for the vodka, making it stronger, richer, more highly flavored with all those bourbon notes. Obviously, bourbon and vodka are not normally substitutable alternatives in a drink, and the bourbon's going to be far more powerful for good or ill. The pour of this one was a dark brownish amber in regular room light, but if you put it in a bright light, and we usually shine LEDs on these things, it kind of turns into a copper red under a brighter situation. The head is medium to large, short-lived, fine in texture, light tan. The nose is interesting. Whenever you get one of these Firestone-Walkers, be sure to nose it. It's fairly strong, a mix of citrus and bourbon. The lime came out right away. The lace is very enthusiastic, lasting minutes, and that makes it look smashing in the glass with that bright coppery red amber color. Our first sip was loaded with rich bourbon notes, pretty much as strong as you'd ever want, bordering on harsh, but not over the line, at least for me. And our panel agreed it was kind of strong on the bourbon side, but by the middle passage, you got some lovely ginger notes that give it a spicy nip. And bourbon and ginger are not a common combination. It's been used before, but it kind of works. It really does kind of work. There's few ginger augmented ales that are rich enough for us, and this is one that is. Ginger is an expensive product. I know you can buy chunks of it in your grocery store pretty cheap. But to chop it up and to prep it, you got to take the skin off, you got to process it, you got to fill tanks with it. It's going to cost you some money. So ginger's not a common ingredient in beer as it should be, perhaps, because of the cost. And then when you're adding bourbon notes, that's going to wipe the ginger out unless the ginger is very strong. And that ginger has to be strong enough to take on or overcome those whiskey notes, and in this case it does. So kudos to Firestone-Walker. You're not going to find them skimping on product and skimping on flavor density. Now there is a residual tartness in the finish that comes from the lime. We kind of thought it might be some hops in there. There's probably a little bit, but most of that residual tartness is from the lime. And together with the developing wood flavors, oak, vanilla, tannins, it's a really lovely presentation. Not perfectly harmonious, but reasonable. Again, it's 4.5 out of 5 bottles, so it's great, but not perfect. It's got a cocktail feel to it, and they have a lot of beers in that sort of cocktail drink family, as do Founders and some others. So that's a kind of a trend these days, since maybe 2019, to have a cocktail based, think of a Manhattan or an old fashioned. A lot of people are doing beer versions of those. Especially any kind of bourbon based drink is obvious for a beer when it's barrel aged. This is no ordinary flavored ale. It's got a special merit, lime and ginger infused into it, with rich Kentucky whiskey and that wood ale base. It's very unique. And like most of Firestone-Walker's boxed special beers, it's rich, rewarding, it's special, it's expensive. It's very well executed, and it's just, as one reviewer said, simply charming at every turn. Now, while this is an impressive beer, it was kind of a semi-wild beer for us. It kind of jolted us at first. We kind of liked that ginger bourbon flavor. But as we kind of settled into the bottle, and by the way, we all had to drink a full bottle. That's our rules. We have to drink a full container to do a review, not one of them little sippy cups or disposable cups. We drink the full bottle to get the full experience. In the case of very large bottles, it's a minimum of 12 ounces. So we're really going at it. And as you got through the whole experience, a little of the luster of the first approach wore off, and we noticed a slight lack of harmony among the different flavor notes. They were just kind of thrown together a little bit. There's some symphonic balance, but it could be better. I thought it needed a little more sweetness. That lime in the bitter finish got a little annoying, frankly. Not bad, never too harsh, but it just got a little annoying. And I think they should work on the harmony of those flavors, and maybe give it a little more sweetness. That's just my opinion on the matter. But anyway, it's a very nice product, and I don't want to discourage you from trying it just because we didn't give it a perfect score. A lot of our favorite beers are not, quote, perfect beers, and they do have some flaws. Your perfect car or your perfect friend. No, you kind of enjoy the idiosyncrasies of a thing. And the Kentucky Mule from Firestone-Walker, at least the 2021 edition, and I'm sure the future ones will be spectacular. Thanks for listening.